Hello everyone and welcome back to another One Piece Cruise video. Today we're going through the new Pirate XP ship using Colosseum McVice to get us 680,000 XP every 2 minutes on Auto Plus. This for me is like the perfect showcase of how good Auto Plus can be. I mean, you don't even have to put any effort into this and you can just get hundreds of pirate levels in this event period. So this ship is pretty good. It's not as good as previous years. We've had 5x and then also 5 turns of cooldown to all units, not just the captains. But it is also doing end of turn damage, so you could use it to wave clear or to get around resilience. But the main thing here is XP and berries times 4. So I will have a separate video for berries, the best way to farm that. But for this video, I want to show you guys a more accessible version of a team I made for Colosseum McVice. So we do have Marco, who is the highest XP multiplier you can get, 2.25x. There is also the Roger legend, Dex, but he doesn't provide the wave clear capabilities and all the cooldown that Marco does. So Marco's much better here. Besides that, we are running Garp and Kobe just to give us 1 turn of cooldown with their sailor ability. We have to run at least 5 fighter characters on the team, so that's why we have to run Garp and Kobe, because not many fighter characters besides Luffy's will give you a turn of cooldown at the start of the quest. So same goes there for the size 6 plus gear 5 Luffy. You could also use the int gear 5 Luffy. Either one works. They both give a turn of cooldown. Junbei does not need to be expanded. He does not need level number break. So a 6 plus level 99 Junbei will work. The most important thing here is the support abilities. So make sure you farm up those Cypher to play Straw Hats, get their support abilities maxed, because it is essential for the Auto Plus team. Now, we're essentially centering this team around Treasure Map Legend Ace. This guy is amazing. We do have a unit that does something similar, being Inter Recruit NL, where he takes 50% of your HP, but he multiplies the HP lost as damage to the enemy. He only does 50% of the HP that your crew has, whereas this Ace does 99%. So you get essentially double the damage, which allows us to one-shot the final stage. So Colosseum McVice, final stage Ace is going to be very, very good. Make sure you have his cooldown max. You don't need expansion. But the main reason you need to have your limit break maxed is for this crewmate ability. When any strength, powers, or striker captain uses a special, reduces his cooldown by 2 turns, up to 2 times in the quest. So on the final stage, our markers will activate and that'll give him 4 turns of cooldown, which will make him ready, even though he has such a high cooldown. Besides that, Junbei will wave clear on stage 4 and change bomb orbs into matching, so he does quite a bit, but yeah, you do not need his level number break functions, but do super evolve him, you do need that. You don't need your units to be 150. Marco can be level 99. You don't need expansion on Marco either. He has enough cooldown as it is. We aren't using Garp and Kobe special, so it really doesn't matter what investment you have them at. Just make sure you have them limit broken so that they have that sailor ability to give everyone a turn of cooldown. Otherwise, your Marco will not be, your Ace will not be ready at the start of the quest. So yeah, very crucial sailor abilities right there. The reason why I made this more accessible is because I was running Log Luffy with level number break 5 and limit break expansion. That guy's really good for this because he only has like a 5 turn cooldown, and then his special will wave clear with a massive amount of damage. He'll give everyone strength orbs through block and then also give everyone a turn of cooldown. So one of the best modern day wave clearers. I maxed him out a long time ago because I knew he would be useful one day. So for this, it's great. But besides that, we don't need to run Log Luffy here. I will show you an alternative using him, which is a teeny bit faster if you do have him maxed. But I know most people will not even have a single copy of Log Luffy. Nevertheless, a 10 copy fit in maxed Log Luffy. So let's head into Colosseum McVice. You can unlock him through the Recollection Archive for 100 Recollection points. Every day you get 200 points for free, so you can farm him for 2 hours every day for free, of course. So I'm just going to run here, of course, auto plus. So it will be completely hands off. You won't have to worry about tapping at all. Of course, if you do tap the screen, it'll make the run go faster because you will skip the special animations. So I'm just going to show you a run where I go as fast as possible by skipping the animations, but afterwards I'll show you a completely organic run without touching the screen whatsoever. So stage 1, we have the superclass of Ace proccing. Stage 2, Marco's superclass will proc since we have 5 fighters and the Robin support on him. And then since we have that end of set healing, it procs the captain ability auto activate special for both Marcos, and that together will kill stage 3. Luckily, only the first Marco special will actually play the animation. Even if you're not touching, the second Marco special will get skipped, so very good for speed farming. Then stage 4, Jumbe will finally be ready. He'll wave clear the background mobs. On stage 3, there is 3 different variants. If you encounter baby 5, she will give us bomb orbs, so you need that to be changed thanks to Jumbe, which will allow you to kill on stage 4 treble in 1 hit. And then on the final stage here, your first Marco will activate, and now Ace will have 1 turn of cooldown left, and then the second Marco will send it, giving Ace ready. Luffy's special is not ready, so it doesn't activate, and then Ace will kill off Macavise. So very, very easy clear. There is a way to make it so that you only need to use 1 Marco in the final stage, and that is using Log Luffy, because he gives that 1 extra turn of cooldown. In this case, you would replace Log Luffy with Jumbe, because he does the same thing Jumbe does. He wave clears stage 4 mobs. He also will give you the full board of matching orbs, but then in addition to that, he'll give you a turn of cooldown. So this run, I'm not going to tap on the screen at all. So of course, these animations will play. I did time this before. It's about 2 minutes just over, so still really fast. And I think I did calculations, and you can get like 18 million XP every hour of doing this. Fully auto, not even touching the screen, letting the animations play. It's still really fast. So this is actually the baby 5 variant. This is the most annoying one for sure, because not only does she give us bomb orbs, she'll give us a ton of paralysis, and also she will revive. The paralysis is what we have the Rayleigh support for. Of course, Marcos will kill on stage 3 anyways. As you can see, the second Marco special gets skipped even if we don't touch the screen. The revive is very mickey, so you can just tap on your Marco. It will kill very quickly. The main reason we need to remove those block orbs is, the bomb orbs, is for stage 4. So we can kill treble very quickly. Now, if you don't have Jumbe level limit break 5, you won't get a color affinity, but at the end of the day, it'll just be a second or 2 slower. Marco won't kill in 1 hit, but you definitely should kill by gear 5 Luffy tap at the very least. But yeah, very easy with that color affinity. Now, the other team, I will be using, of course, Log Luffy instead of Jumbe, which means I will have to replace gear 5 Luffy Sailor with another cooldown reducer, which will make it a lot harder because, as I said before, the only fighter characters that reduce cooldown at the start of the quest is Luffy characters and Garp and Kobe. So I just need to take a look at that before I show you guys. But here, after the first activation of Marco, Ace will have 1 turn of cooldown remaining, and then the second Marco will give him the final turn. But yeah, if you have Log Luffy, that final turn will be accounted for, meaning you only need to use 1 Marco on the final stage. So yeah, pretty fast. I should have timed it for you guys, but either way, that was pretty nice. But yeah, as you can see here, 700,000 berries and 683,000 XP every single run. You will also get a massive amount of tomes, and most importantly, cotton candy. So very, very cool. If you guys really want to see a variant with only Dex Roger instead of Marco, it will be a lot slower, of course, but you can still probably cook up some really good teams. So for now, let me show you guys the variant using Log Luffy. Okay, so the main differences here are we aren't using the superclass of Ace anymore. We're actually using Log Luffy to kill on stage. No, we're using the superclass of Marco on stage 1 instead of 2. We'll let the first auto special of Marco kill stage 2, and then the second auto special of Marco will deal half damage to the third stage enemy. Log Luffy will come in and finish off the stage 3 enemy with his special and give us a turn of cooldown. Stage 4, we will use we'll just attack normally and kill. Log Luffy will give us those full board of matching orbs, which is very nice. Besides that, we do have Katakuri here because his Sailor ability will give us 1.1x HP. This is very important because without the superclass of Ace on stage 1, we will lose 1.2x HP on all of our units because, of course, superclass, if you didn't know, is a 1.2x increase in base stats for your units. This means that we'll have a lot less HP without using Ace's superclass, which is very important because remember, the final stage we do kill thanks to the amount of HP we have thanks to Ace's special. Without that 1.2x from the superclass, we do need that 1.1x from the Katakuri Sailor effect. We also get Fighter superclass from Marco, which goes very well with the Power superclass from Ace, but it's enough even without investment. If you have the Katakuri, it makes your HP very, very safe. So this is what we're running with. No Gear 5 Luffy, of course, but this one does use Log Luffy. Now, I think I actually should probably add a support for paralysis because I can't remember that. Yeah, so on Garp and Kobe, for the Baby 5 variant, you get a ton of paralysis. So you just put Halmepo there. This guy's pretty good, and that will handle that. Besides that, Rakuyo on Ace is very necessary to give him the final turn of cooldown you need on stage 5. Of course, his special will not be ready. And then let's get straight into it. I actually saw someone post a team using what's his face, Katakuri, but not this one. We're talking about the Katakuri from V2, so the Psy one. He actually does damage based on how much damage you taken from the enemy, and I've seen people go against Coliseum Shiryu. The good thing about Shiryu is that the enemies actually do damage to you, so on the final stage you can use Katakuri Psy 6+, of course, to just wave clear the enemies. So I might showcase that in a separate video. Of course, I didn't make that team myself, so I don't feel comfortable showing that. But these teams work very, very well. Shiryu might be a bit faster and more reliable since the Baby 5 variant makes this team a bit slower sometimes. Not by much, maybe a few seconds, but at the end of the day, you don't need that extra 1 or 2 seconds on a specific variant. It's not going to make a difference. So stage 3 there, as you can see, Log Luffy coming in, giving us that full board of strength orbs, the cooldown, and the massive damage. So yeah, this team actually probably the same amount of speed if we just take into account the fact that we are manually tapping on those background mobs. But at the end of the day, Junbei on the previous team, his special animation is low-key slower than just tapping those enemies in the back. So, I mean, if you actually probably timed it, this team is probably a bit faster. But there we go. The first Marco is all you need. As you can see, Ace gets that final 2 turns of cooldown from the Sailor effect. And you can very quickly kill there without having to use the second Marco. So yeah, I definitely think this team is a bit faster, even though you're manually tapping on stage 4. If you're letting the animations play, Junbei special is way slower than just tapping the mobs manually in the back. So yeah, I think that definitely felt a bit faster. So I don't know about you guys, but if you do have Log Luffy, I would recommend using this version instead. But that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. If you have any questions and you want maybe to see a variant using 6-star Legend Jack, the one that only gives 2x Pirate XP, or Dex Anniversary Legend Roger, then just ask me down below. I will have a separate video, as I said at the start, for berries, so look forward to that. I have some very cool team that can be used both on Auto Plus and also on Manual. In both ways the team works. It's been designed in that way, so very convenient. I made that a few months ago, but it should still be working perfectly fine right now. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace, and I'm out.